Oh, God.
Back to this again, are we?
Yes. Until we finish it, Tom.
Well, on the bright side, we are almost halfway through.
Yeah, we have 163 pages left. We're continuing with Midnight Sun, as you can probably tell from the title. So what are we reading? And I'm Llytic.
And I'm Tom.
Did I already say what page we're on? Yeah.
131, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was weird. Yeah, we just had to deal with jealousy between Mike Newton and Edward, and now we're continuing on that front because God hates us.
Oh, so that's what I missed. Okay.
Yeah, this time it turns out that Bella has a weakness against the smell of blood because characters being weak against blood, that's totally not overdone.
Mm.
Despite the fact that the majority of people I've met that have issues with blood are men.
The thing here is you're thinking Bella is a not so generic character, so she's going to have a not so generic.
Is well written.
Yeah, exactly.
We forgot her character flaw is clumsiness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because that makes a good character.
Relatability, just like how we all related to that broken marriage subplot. God damn it.
You gotta read your line?
Probably at some point.
I mean, we don't have to. We could just kind of skip it and not do that.
The earlier thing was, right, the beach party that Bella was invited to. Mike was checking to see if Bella was going to.
Oh,
sure, I said I was in, she promised.
So she'd said yes to him too. The jealousy burned, more painful than thirst. Oh boy, we're starting off on a strong note here, guys.
Nothing but thirst, Edward, and not the kind you're thinking.
Hey.
Edward's thinking, not what you're thinking. You're probably thinking the right thirst. No, it was just a group outing, I tried to convince myself. She was just spending the day with friends. Nothing more. All right, nothing more.
Touch only the lamp. I don't know why I thought of that. We're meeting at my dad's store at 10, and Cullen's not invited.
God damn it, my mind is going to places that would make this far more interesting. Wait, is there a Mike/Edward fanfiction out there? I'm gonna have to check that later.
Oh,
that'll be far more entertaining. Makeup sex, God damn it, I've already used that joke too many times.
Just
makeup sex hammers joke. I'll be there, she said.
I'll see you in gym then.
See ya, she replied.
He shuffled off to his class, his thoughts full of ire. What does she see in that freak? Sure, he's rich, I guess. Chicks think he's hot, but I don't see that. Too perfect. I bet his dad experiments with plastic surgery on all of them. That's why they're all so white and pretty. It's not natural. And he's sort of scary looking. Sometimes when he stares at me, I'd swear he's thinking about killing me. Freak.
Why do I get the feeling that Mike's going to shoot up a school? Like, what does she see in that freak is not a normal thing to think.
Yeah, well.
Like, I'm just gonna say, that is not a normal thing, Mike. I hope your dad has the guns locked away. And that you don't know the combination. Otherwise, things are going to get really distressing in the city of Forks. Mike wasn't entirely unperceptive. I'm pretty sure he's just a serial killer in waiting.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, I'm pretty sure normal people don't go around complaining about plastic surgery.
Jim, Bella repeated quietly, a groan.
I looked at her and saw that she was sad about something again. I can't bitch nearly as much as my peers. I wasn't sure why, but it was clear she didn't want to go to her next class with Mike. I was all for that plan.
So what, are they gonna like ditch now or something? Do the classic, oh, I don't want to see this person, so I'm just gonna avoid them type
I don't
thing?
know. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've dealt with the original books. The original books were a lot more tolerable, though, mostly because we weren't inside the mind of a serial killer.
Oh, speaking of inside the mind of a serial killer, I went to her side and bent close to her face, feeling the warmth of her skin radiating out to my lips. I didn't dare breathe.
Too close. Too close, Ed.
Personal space, Cullen. Come on.
Edric, back up.
Edric.
I can take care of that, I murmured. Go sit down and look pale. That shouldn't be hard for her.
Wait, so, like, does she know he's a vampire now, or, like...
No.
Okay. So, like... Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's just Jim. Ugh. Well, I can take care of that problem. Just go sit over there and continue looking sick.
She did as I asked, sitting in one of the folding chairs and leaning her head back against the wall, while behind me, Miss Cope came out of the back room and went to her desk. With her eyes closed, Bella looked as if she'd passed out again. Her full color hadn't returned yet.
This is one of those cases, Tom, where, like, the writer made it pretty clear what was going on.
I was not here last session, so I don't know what's going on.
This isn't something that you need to have been here for last session, because it was all entirely in this page. Jim. Ugh.
Doesn't
want to go to Jim.
You're
like
expecting that I'm paying.
Doesn't want to go to Jim. I can take care of that problem. Go sit over there and continue looking sick.
You're expecting that I'm paying attention to the story. I'm really not.
I'm expecting that you have basic literacy.
I do have basic literacy.
Apparently not.
I'm just not really paying attention. Like I said, I fucking hate this.
Well, if you paid attention, you'd actually have stuff to riff on.
Yeah. I'm just here to get it up
sitting here. Like, what's going on? Huh? Huh? What?
But then you get to riff on me, so it's all good here.
No, because that's a lot less interesting than actually riffing on the story.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because I can't provide insight on your stupidity.
Yeah, no, I can't do that either.
I turned to security. The secretary. Shit. Bella, hopefully Bella was paying attention to this, I thought sardonically. This was how a human was supposed to respond.
Miss Cope, I asked, using my persuasive voice again.
Her eyelashes fluttered and her heart sped up. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this person.
I was intentionally blocking the fact that this person ever existed out of my mind. Just give me a sec. Yeah, her eyelashes fluttered and her heart sped up. This person... wait, shit, too young. Get a hold of yourself. Yes?
That was interesting. When Shelley...
disturbing, more like. Much like that message I recently got on Words with Friends. Some dude in his 40s challenged me to a game. It's like, fuck it, whatever. I'll take anyone. Fuck it. Then he messages me on there. First message, hello, baby.
Good lord.
This motherfucker looks like a fucking reject from like that fucking Gas Monkey Garage show. Like, his face radiates straightness, so I'm pretty sure it's not that he's looking for another guy. I'm pretty sure he just mistook me for a woman. Common mistake. When you don't hear me speaking.
Yeah, no, true enough, I guess.
But it's a whole thing of like... Can you not? On this game?
Well...
Can you fucking not?
Yeah, no, that's weird that happened. Just...
Okay, I'm pretty sure, like, anyone out there who happens to be female, or at least looks female, can tell you that this sort of shit happens. Random strangers trying to hit you up on places that are not dating apps.
I guess it's not all that surprising. It's still just, I guess it's just odd because it happened to someone I know, but like, it's probably happened to more people than I know, and they're just
like, I don't come on this game to flirt. I'm here to stomp people's asses in.
Yeah. Words with friends can be fun but like,
I mean, my word point average for this month is 20.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Overall is 18.
That's really good. Yeah, I could look up mine,
but
but
I try to avoid playing words that are less than 15 points.
Yeah, I could look up my average, but I don't want to go get up and get my phone from the charger. Yeah, well, anyway, we're at 132, right?
Yes, we're on page 132.
Top line, gotcha. That was interesting. Yes. When Shelley Cope's pulse quickened, it was because she found me physically attractive, not because she was frightened.
Yes, because she's a pedophile.
I was used to that around human females, yet I hadn't considered that explanation for Bella's racing heart. Okay. First off, I'm pretty sure well, I don't know.
Well, there is another word for whenever that they're fetishizing teenagers, but I don't feel like looking that one up.
No, but like I was thinking it's like
pedophile or something.
I was just like, okay, is this the first time he's noticed something like this?
I was talking about the receptionist, but okay.
No, I was talking that he was noticing that around people like that because he's a quote unquote beautiful person or whatever, like the vampires in this. But like, I
mean, vampires have always had an association with sexuality. It's just that this is written by a Mormon, so we're not really going to get much of an interesting exploration of that. They aren't allowed to look at porn. Like, you expect them to do anything interesting involving sexuality? No.
Well, I guess another thing to add on this book strike list then.
No porn?
I was gonna say no interesting description of sexuality or exploration of sexuality like you were talking, but like, yeah, that too.
Because that's the whole reason why Stephenie Meyer hasn't read the 50 Shades series, is because it is porn, and as a Mormon, she cannot indulge herself. That's probably not the right phrase, but screw it, let's go with that one.
I mean, sure, why not?
Oh, God. I rather like that. Too much, in fact. Smiled, and Mrs. Cope's breathing got louder. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I know he has supersonic hearing, but this is just uncomfortable right here.
Every scene with Mrs. Cope is uncomfortable, because she shouldn't be working around teenagers. How many other students is she like this with? Probably a lot of them. I doubt it's just Edward.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Well, it probably won't explore anything else because she's not the main character, so she's not important.
I'd hope that the main character of the story isn't a pedophile.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be enjoyable.
Edward at least has the excuse that he is both physically and psychologically a teenager.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway.
Because vampires never seem to grow out of the phase that they're in, the psychological phase that they're in.
Which is interesting, but...
it's interesting, but doesn't make for likable characters.
True.
Because that means you have to deal with a 100-year-old whiny teenager.
Yeah, no, that's annoying. Look at this read-through we've been doing.
In which we've spent how long?
Probably less time than we need to. Speaking of which, I'm gonna read my next line.
Probably more time than we need to.
Yeah. Bella has gym next hour, and I don't think she feels well enough. Actually, I was thinking I should take her home now. Do you think you could excuse her from class? Not an approved guardian or whatever.
Yeah. Hey. Creep.
I stared into her depthless eyes, enjoying the havoc that this wreaked on her thought processes. Was it possible that Bella...
Mrs. Cope had to swallow loudly before she answered. Comfortable. Do you need to be excused too, Edward?
No, I have Mrs. Goff. She won't mind.
One of the goth kids from My Immortal?
Maybe.
I wasn't paying much attention to her now. I was exploring this new possibility. So the thought of one person getting off on you when they really shouldn't is making you think about another person possibly getting off on you when you really shouldn't.
I mean, are we really surprised at this coming from Edward?
No.
Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'd like to believe that Bella found me attractive like other humans did, but when did Bella ever have the same reactions as other humans? I shouldn't get my hopes up.
I almost went with the lesbian joke again. Because now I'm just wondering if Edward's ever run into a gay man.
Probably hasn't paid much attention to that, honestly, but it's very possible.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that this book kind of ignores the fact that the book series kind of just ignores the fact that they exist, so.
Well.
Okay, it's all taken care of. You feel better, Bella.
Bella nodded weakly, overacting a bit.
Can you walk, or do you need me to carry you? I asked, amused by her poor theatrics. I knew she would want to walk. She wouldn't want to be weak.
I'll walk, she said.
Right again. I was getting better at this.
She got up, hesitating for a moment as if to check her balance. I held the door for her, and we walked out into the rain. I watched her as she lifted her face
That's
to the light.
my line.
Oh, sorry.
Just a sec. I watched her as she lifted her face to the light rain and with her eyes closed, a slight smile on her lips. What was she thinking? Something about this action seemed off. I quickly realized why the posture looked unfamiliar to me. Normal human girls wouldn't raise their faces to the drizzle that way. What?
Depends on the person.
Yes, very much so. What? What? I'm pretty sure most people like the feeling of a light misting.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
especially on warmer days.
I get that you don't talk to many women, Edward.
Also, there's no such thing as normal, so just
normal human girls. Normal human girls usually wore makeup, even here in this wet place. Just gonna say it, pretty sure that Mormon women don't count as normal human girls. Or aren't the benchmark anyway.
And even if it was a wet climate, there's like special kinds of makeup for that.
Yes.
So
in fact, you'd probably be more likely to find people using like water resistant or waterproof makeup. And that's not even getting into the kinds of women out there who just don't enjoy wearing makeup. There are people like that, Edward. They exist. They're out there.
Bella never wore makeup, nor should she. The cosmetics industry made billions of dollars a year from women who were trying to attain skin like hers.
I'm going to punch Edward in the face now. She shouldn't wear makeup.
That's her decision alone.
Yes, not yours, Edward. I'm going to embed you in the asphalt.
That'd be funny.
Fucking pile drive your corpse.
Isn't he technically a corpse if he's a vampire anyway?
We've been over this, Tom.
Have we?
Yes.
Cool.
In order for a vampire to count as undead, they have to have died. That only happens in very specific vampire mythologies. These ones did not die. They merely had their blood replaced, all the fluids in their body replaced, with a viral substance.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember having this conversation before.
We've had this conversation before of why most vampires wouldn't count as undead.
Yeah, I'm not remembering it, but I'll take your word
We've had
for
it several times. This conversation dates back to this beginning of this podcast series. Back whenever we were reading My Immortal.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that one. And this probably won't be the last time we have this conversation.
Because it's a whole thing of like, it depends. Like, the vampires in the Vampire Diaries series would count as undead because part of the way that you get turned into a vampire in that is by dying. You have to partake of vampire blood and then die. Then you come back as a vampire. Whereas, like, the vampires in fucking Supernatural, it's just that you have to have blood transfer. So, not undead. Unless dying has happened, they are not undead.
Okay.
In this case, dying has not happened. It's merely restructuring of the body via venom.
When do they go over the physiology of vampires in this one?
In the actual Twilight books.
Ah, okay.
Not in this.
Okay.
This is spin-off. Oh, God. Okay, where the fuck were we? The fact that this conversation keeps happening pisses me off.
It's probably not going to be the last time either. So page 133 at the top.
Thanks, she said, smiling at me now. It's worth getting sick to miss Jim.
I stared across the campus, wondering how to prolong my time with her. Any time, I said.
Also, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, it's worth getting sick to miss Jim. Instead, it's usually just, finally don't have to deal with that. Like, that was just fucking clunky. Even for a teenager.
Yeah, well, Bella's not a normal girl, Llytic. You gotta give her some leeway
she apparently
here.
Doesn't have normal thought processes and speak like the typical person. Instead, she speaks like a fucking alien. It's
Maybe
worth
she is
getting
an actual
sick
alien.
to miss Jim. Are you okay?
I'm just thinking, like, okay, so like when getting turned into vampires, different people have different powers. And what if Bella's like blank thought process or whatever, where she's not able to be mind read by Edward? What if it's because she is literally part alien?
So, are we saying that Charlie Swan is an alien? Because I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
It would explain why he tried to microwave a jar of pasta. Pasta sauce.
Yeah, no, it's like either they're like full aliens or like they have alien descendant in it or whatever. I don't know. It'd just be funny.
This entire time, Bella's a fucking alien. Damn it.
Makes it a little more bearable when I think of it that way.
Wait, so those slaughtered cows, that time I got probed? All me. It turns out Bella was the true monster all along.
And she became a vampire just to see what would happen if an alien was injected with a vampire
Became
venom.
a vampire for research purposes. Damn it. So,
Fanfiction authors, get onto this.
So, are you going this? So, are you going this Saturday? I mean, she sounded hopeful.
Her hope was soothing. She wanted me with her, not Mike Newton. And I wanted to say yes.
I don't want Mike Newton anywhere near me. He sounds insufferable. But at the same time, I don't want you anywhere near me either. You sound insufferable.
But there were many things to consider. For one, the sun would be shining this Saturday.
Where are you all going exactly? I tried to keep my voice nonchalant, as if it didn't matter much. Mike had stopped. God damn it! Give me a sec. Mike had said beach, though. Not much chance of avoiding sunlight there.
Down to La Push, to First Beach.
Yeah, it's on. Okay. Making sure that the voice effect actually was happening. Damn! Well, it was impossible then.
Anyway, Emmett would be irritated if I canceled our plans.
Well, I don't know who Emmett is, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Ooh, finally a photo of this dolphin.
You're looking at photos of dolphins?
No, I started playing Bisrium again, and started getting new fish. I have a new dolphin.
Oh, cool.
It's a really pointy face, even more so than the other dolphins.
You should name him Pointy Face.
You can't name him, sadly, but...
That's unfortunate.
Oh, god damn it, I was hoping that after I took the picture it would tell me, but it didn't. I mean, I could easily just scroll over the shit I get distracted by.
Kind of funny, honestly.
Let's see. It is a northern right whale dolphin.
Cool.
Oh. Also, I have a pygmy killer. No, I have a Risso's dolphin. Pygmy killer whale is a thing that can be gotten now. Got it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's also a green spotted sea slug and a blue striped sea slug. As well as a couple more cuttlefish. I'm always a sucker for cuttlefish. I glanced down at her, smiling wryly. I really don't think I was invited.
She sighed, already resigned. I just invited you.
Well, she's not wrong. Wait. Well, let's you and I not push poor Mike any further this week. I don't want him to snap. I was about snapping poor Mike myself, and enjoyed the mental picture immensely.
Mike Schmike, she said.
I mean, that's basically what I've been saying this whole story. Why are we focusing on Mike?
Mike Schmike, she said, dismissive again. I smiled widely.
Yay, too much teeth.
Just like the preview for the second It movie, just the lady just smiles for way too long.
Can you stop, ma'am? Ma'am, please stop. Please. Okay. And then she started to walk away from me.
Without thinking about my action, I reached out and caught her by the back of her rain jacket. She jerked to a stop.
Where do you think you're going? I was almost angry that she was leaving me. You have issues, Edward. I hadn't had enough time with her. She couldn't go. Not yet. Boundaries.
That's creepy.
This is not healthy, Edward. Get help. Go see a psychologist.
I'm going home, she said, baffled as to why this should upset me.
Yes, why would this upset you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
I'm pretty sure that there's a lovely psychologist you could see. She's currently helping out the devil.
You think Edward is the type of stable individual who would recognize when he has mental issues and go see a psychologist to remedy that?
I know, whenever Lucifer's a more likable character than you. Whenever the literal devil's a more likable character than you. Granted, the Lucifer is a more likable character than a lot of characters.
I kind of need I need to check out that show. It seems interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean Neil Gaiman's like I've yet to see him make anything truly bad. So, didn't you hear me promise to take you home safely? Do you think I'm going to let you drive in your condition? I knew she wouldn't like that. My implication of weakness on her part. But I needed to practice for the Seattle trip anyway. See if I could handle her proximity in an enclosed space. This was a much shorter journey. Don't stop believing.
What condition? She demanded. And what about my truck?
What about your truck?
Mm.
I'll have office. I'll have Alice drop it off after school. I pulled her back to my car carefully, as I now knew that walking forward was challenging enough for her.
Let go, she said, twisting sideways and nearly tripping. I held one hand out to catch her, but she righted herself before it was necessary.
Hey, Edward, little piece of advice here. When someone says let go, you fucking let go.
I shouldn't be looking for excuses to touch her. That started me thinking about Miss Cope's reaction to me, but I filed it away for later. There was much to be considered on that front.
Like the fact that she really should be reported to higher-ups? Again, probably shouldn't be working around teenagers.
Yes, not a good idea.
Okay. I let her go beside the car and she stumbled into the door. I would have to be even more careful to take into account her poor balance.
Oh yeah, 'cause she's clumsy, remember?
Yes. We know, Tom. You don't need to keep reminding us.
Yeah, the story's doing that.
The story's being so subtle about it.
Yeah, very subtle. It's... You are so pushy.
That's a word for it.
Mm.
It's open.
I got in on my side and started the car. She held her body rigidly still outside, though the rain had picked up and I knew she didn't like the cold and wet. Water was soaking through her thick hair, darkening it to near black.
That it is what happens when the hair gets wet, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly capable of driving myself home.
Of course she was. I just wasn't capable of letting her go. Again, problems, man. You should see a psychiatrist.
I'm going to shove his car up his ass.
Oh, that'd be creative.
I rolled her window down and leaned toward her. Get in, Bella.
Her eyes narrowed, and I guessed that she was debating whether or not to make a run for it.
Run! I'll just drag you back, I promised, enjoying the chagrin on her face as she realized when she realized what I meant.
When she realized I meant it.
Oh, I meant it. You do realize her dad's a cop, right? Like, that... Okay, like, that shouldn't be a thing that really affects whether or not you're gonna pull this shit. But you'd think that it would at least deter.
No, Edward's a vampire.
This is how you get shot.
Yeah, he doesn't
several
care.
times. In the face. And the dick. Mostly the dick.
Pay money to see Edward getting shot. That'd be great. But it probably wouldn't work because vampires in Twilight are OP. But
I mean, if you Use something with a hard enough blast or it destroyed the head, you'd probably be good. But again, nuclear bomb issue.
Yeah.
When that somehow ends up doing it, like not doing it, something's wrong.
Yeah, just a little bit. Her chin stiffly in the air, she opened her door and climbed in. Her hair dripped on the leather and her boots squeaked against each other.
This is completely unnecessary, she said. This is completely unnecessary, she said coldly. I thought she looked embarrassed under the peak.
I just turned up the heater so she wouldn't be uncomfortable and set the music to a nice background level. I drove out toward the exit, watching her from the corner of my eye. Her lower lip was jutting out stubbornly. I stared at this, examining how it made me feel, thinking of the secretary's reaction again.
Stop! Then she looked at Stereo and smiled, her eyes widening. Claire de Lune? She asked.
A fan of the classics. You know Debussy.
I know Gary Busey.
That was too easy, man. Come on.
Butthorn! Not well, she said. My mother plays a lot of classical music around the house. I only know my favorites.
It's one of my favorites, too. I stared at the ring, considering that. I actually had something in common with the girl. I'd begun to think that we were opposites in every way. I guess we should just get married now.
Oh, you added that in.
Yep.
Okay. It was like, well, Ed?
No, I added that one in. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, God, I was almost about to make, like, a fucking... Like, I already did, like, replacing the, like, Edward, like, replacing the Ed of Edward with the Fred of Frederick. I was about to do the same for Theodore, for Ted. I was like, fuck, that won't work.
Yeah, probably not.
Pronunciation would be all fucked with that one.
I could have fun with it, but...
Three lights. She seemed more relaxed. No, wait, she seemed more relaxed now, staring at the rain like me, with unseeing eyes. I used her momentary distraction to experiment with breathing.
So I read monetary distraction as you were going through.
My family is extremely rich, you know. Yes, Edward, I know.
I don't know why my mind went there, but it did, and it was funny.
Monetary distraction.
I inhaled
her with my money.
Throws a wad of cash at someone. I inhaled carefully through my nose.
Potent.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, my other option was potent.
I like the first one better, mostly because I really couldn't tell all that much of a difference with the second one if you put like a voice effect on.
I put what should have been an echo.
Yeah, no, it didn't really echo all that much, at least not on my end. So
granted, it's the cave echo, not the like church echo.
Maybe. It, like I said, didn't hear much of a difference on my end from when you really said that, but it might be my mic, I don't know. I clutched the steering wheel tighter. The rain made her smell better. I wouldn't have thought that was possible. Stupidly, I was suddenly imaging how she would taste.
I hate it when I image how things taste. Is that like that whole thing where certain people like hear colors?
It tastes like purple.
I mean, according to one person I knew like that, apparently my name looks green. I mean, sounds green.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I tried to swallow against the burn in my throat to think of something else.
What is your mother like? I asked as a distraction.
Bella smiled. She looks a lot like me, but she's prettier.
I doubted that.
I have too much Charlie in me, she went on. She's more outgoing than I am, and braver. Also, I can grow a stupendous mustache. Sorry, that's all I could think of with the line, I have too much Charlie in me. It's just like, I'm way too good at growing mustaches.
I doubted that, too.
You should see what happens when I don't shave for a day. I actually shave between classes. If I don't, by the end of the day, it'll be a full mustache. It is like horrifying. It's just that swan blood.
Jeez. I thought she was an owl. Now we're making her a Charlie, so...
Her dad is Charlie. Her dad's name is Charlie.
Okay, I guess we can do, but I don't know. I'm tired.
I have too much of my dad in me. That's kind of a weird statement, but...
I think she was calling her dad ugly.
I think part of it is also calling her dad shy and reclusive.
Maybe.
Being as too much Charlie in me. My mom's outgoing. She's irresponsible and slightly eccentric, and a very unpredictable cook. She's my best friend. Her voice had turned melancholy, her forehead creased, like a handbag.
Again, she sounded more like parent than child.
That's not overused. I stopped in front of her house, wondering too late if I was supposed to know where she lived. No, this wouldn't be suspicious in such a small town with her father a public figure.
How old are you, Bella? She must be older than her peers. Perhaps she'd been late to start school or been held back. That wasn't likely, though.
Anyone ever tell you that you're phenomenally stupid, Edward?
You've told him that multiple times, but he can't hear
Yes,
us.
but this is just... She must be older than all her other classmates because of the things she says. Mostly fuck. Like, what? Edward, how much have you been drinking? Are you on the sauce again?
Well, he did just inhale Bella's scent, so...
That doesn't excuse this level of stupidity.
I'm
17, she answered.
Still there?
Yes.
Okay, you cut out. Did you read your line?
Yes, that she's 17.
Okay. You don't seem 17.
You seem 5. She laughed.
What?
My mom always says I was born 35 years old and that I get more middle-aged every year. She laughed again, then sighed. Well, someone has to be the adult. You're doing a terrible job at it, Bella.
This clarified things for me.
Does it?
I could see it now, how the irresponsible mother helped explain Bella's maturity. She'd had to grow up early to become the caretaker. That's why she didn't like being cared for. She felt it was her job.
Or maybe people just don't like being looked down on.
Yeah,
kind of the whole reason of why you ask if someone wants help first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just force help on them. It kind of tends to piss them off.
Your line, I believe.
Yeah. I didn't feel much like a junior. You don't feel much like a junior in high school yourself, she said, pulling me from my reverie.
I grimaced. For everything I perceived about her, she perceived too much in return. I changed the subject.
So why did your mother marry Phil?
She hesitated a minute before answering. My mother. She's very young for her age. I think Phil makes her feel even younger. At any rate, she's crazy about him. She shook her head indulgently.
Do you approve? I wondered.
Does it matter? She asked.
No.
I want her to be happy, and he is who she wants.
The unselfishness of her comment. You mean basic human decency, you fuck? Would have shocked me, except that it fit in all too well from what I've learned of her character. That she has no personality. She is just a normal person with normal morals.
That's very generous. I wonder.
What?
Would she extend the same courtesy to you, do you think? No matter who your choice was?
Well, unless they were a very toxic person. I don't think it really matters. Seriously, Edward, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Lots of things. We've also established this.
It was a foolish question, and I could not keep my voice casual as I asked it. How stupid to even consider someone approving of me for their daughter.
Heard it that time.
Yeah, that was because it was a different echo. I was stupid to even think of Bella choosing me.
I think so, she stuttered, reacting in some way to my gaze. Fear or attraction?
I think you're just making her uncomfortable, you dumbass. She's the parent, after all. It's a little different, she finished.
I smiled wryly. No one too scary, then.
She grinned at me. What do you mean by scary? Multiple facial piercings and excessive tattoos? Extensive tattoos? You have a weird definition of scary, Bella.
That's one definition, I suppose.
It's not an accurate one.
A very non-threatening definition to my mind.
Yeah, I've never been threatened by someone with piercing. It's just like, oh, hey, cool. Tattoos? Nice. Where do you get that from? Like, who the fuck finds those threatening? Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. You actually read your line.
Yeah. Yeah, Edward actually agreed with you, so...
The only sensible thought in Edward's head, and that's mostly just because he's some sort of edgelord who thinks that he's the threatening thing. He's not threatening, he's unhinged. There's a fucking difference. What's your definition?
She always asks the wrong questions. Or
Possessive, controlling, manipulative. Like,
or exactly the right questions, maybe. The ones I didn't want to answer at any rate.
Do you think that... God damn it. Do you think that I could be scary? I asked her, trying to smile a little.
She thought it through before answering me in a serious voice. I think you could be if you wanted to.
Instead, you come off more like Shadow the Hedgehog.
On to this again, huh?
I'm sorry, but are you telling me that Edward is not a little edge boy?
No, I know you're
I'm
right.
so dark and threatening. Yeah,
No.
Everyone should be afraid of me. Yeah, everyone's afraid of me, and the people that aren't afraid of me want to fuck me. I'm so cool.
Why have you been thinking about Shadow the Hedgehog recently, anyway? Just out of curiosity.
Why do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm
I'm
asking.
going to give you one hint that it's coming to theaters.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was a thing. I legitimately forgot that was a thing.
Why does it move like that? It's realistic. Why does it have a gun? Just audiences thought it was cool.
Meow?
Oh, God. Let's see. Where were we?
She answered it once, and I think it's your line.
Okay. Wait. No, you said that you could be. I was serious, too.
Oh.
Are you frightened of me now?
She answered it once, not thinking this one through. No.
No. Again, you're just a cringy little edge boy. Yeah, it was so dark. sitting in the back of the class, right next to the window, looking out, trying to look cool. Looks like a fucking dork. Nerd! Edward's a fucking nerd!
Oh, jeez.
You see, this is the kind of reason why you pay attention to what you're reading, because it allows you to do stuff like this.
Edward, more like Ed Nerd, am I right?
Motherfucker! Smiled more easily. I did not think that she was entirely telling the truth, but nor was she truly lying. She wasn't frightened enough to want to leave, at least. I was wondering how she would feel if I told her she was having a discussion with a vampire. I cringed internally at her mad reaction. I'm cringing at your thought process.
I was about to say something along those same lines, so I second that emotion. So, now are you going to tell me about your family? It's got to be a much more interesting story than mine.
Well, you see, one of my sisters once murdered an entire group of rapists. That was interesting. Why hasn't that movie been made yet?
I don't know. Maybe because it'd be good.
A more frightening one, at least.
What do you want to know? I asked cautiously.
Cullen's adopted you.
Yes.
She hesitated, then spoke in a small voice. What happened to your parents?
This wasn't so hard. I wasn't even having to lie to her. They died a very long time ago.
I mean, it's not like lying's hard. I'm sorry, she mumbled, clearly worried about having hurt me.
She was worried about me.
Yes, normal human decency, Edward. God damn it. I don't really remember them that clearly, I assured her. Carlisle and Esme have been great parents for a long time now.
Been my parents for a long time now.
Oh, have been my parents for a long time now.
And you loved them, she deduced.
I smiled. Yes, I couldn't imagine two better people.
You're very lucky.
I know I am. In that one circumstance, the matter of parents, my luck could not be denied. Just flashing back to this thing I saw, it was like a mood board made up of pictures of Edward Cullen smiling. It was like, it's a good thing that Robert Pattinson is has a charming smile.
Yeah.
I don't like this character, but goddamn if this is not a great mood board.
Yeah. I wish people would remember him for more things than what he did than just Twilight.
A picture of a pale Robert Pattinson smiling.
I kind of want to see this picture now, but yeah,
well,
I'll look it up.
Pictures. Hey, don't worry, you'll be able to see more Robert Pattinson soon. He's gonna be the new Batman. He's gonna play another brooding edge boy with dead parents.
Except Batman is better written? Question mark.
I mean, the only well-written things that DC has done is Shazam, Aquaman, and to an extent Wonder Woman.
I haven't seen Shazam. Was it good?
I haven't seen Shazam yet. I need to.
Okay.
I did see Aquaman in theaters. Granted, I will say seeing that in 3D was a mistake because anytime it was one of the scenes with a whole bunch of fish, it was like, oh god.
3D is just extra money anyway.
Well, yeah, like the 3D looked great, but then you'd have the scenes where it was like underwater, and so you'd have like a whole bunch of fish going past, and so like you had all like this massive cloud of fish in 3D, and your eyes just go cross-eyed for a bit dealing with everything. Because it's a whole bunch of like moving stuff in 3D on screen. It's like, nope.
Yeah. I think the only movie I saw in 3D was Tron, the remake when it came out.
I did see the re-release of Jurassic Park. It was interesting. I mean, granted, I don't really think that it ever needed to be re-released in 3D, but I saw it.
Yeah.
That was an interesting wriggling day.
And your brother and sisters?
Brothers. Bella. He has two. If I let her push for too many details, I would have to lie. I glanced at the clock, disheartened that my time with her was up.
My brother and sister, and Jasper and Rosalie, for that matter, are going to be quite upset if they have to stand in the rain waiting for me.
No, sorry. I guess you have to go.
She didn't move. She didn't want our time to be up either. I like
Or maybe she's just an awkward person.
I like that very, very much.
Okay, stop making assumptions about people whose minds you can't read.
No one cares, Edward.
You self-indulgent motherfucker. Okay. And you probably want your truck back before Chief Swan gets home, so you don't have to tell him about the biology incident. I grinned at the memory of her embarrassment in my arms. You're a weird person.
I'm sure he's already heard. There are no secrets in Forks. She said the name of the town with a distinct distaste.
What's wrong with a town that has that's like the most forecast out of everywhere else in the country? Although, like, even with that, it still wouldn't be overcast nearly as much as it's portrayed in the series. I like overcast days. I have no shadow. Also, I'm not burning. Well, after her words, no secrets indeed. I fun at the beach. I glanced at the pouring rain, knowing it would not last, wishing more strongly than usual that it could. Good weather for sunbathing. Well, it would be by Saturday. She would enjoy that. Would she? She's very pale.
Won't I see you tomorrow?
The worry in her tone pleased me. Pleased me.
No, Emmett and I are starting the weekend early. I was mad at myself now for having made the plans. I could break them, but there was no such thing as too much hunting at this point, and my family was going to be concerned enough about my behavior without me revealing how obsessive I was turning.
Oops. What are you going to do? She asked, not sounded happy with my revelation.
Good.
Good. We're going to be hiking in the Goat Rocks Wilderness just south of Rainier. Ooh, hiking. I could go for hiking. Emmett was eager for bear season. Less interested in eating bears.
I'd like to try bear meat at some point in time.
At some point, but I don't feel like putting forth the effort.
Oh well, have fun, she said half-heartedly. Her lack of enthusiasm pleased me again.
Weird. Like, I might as well, if I'm gonna get bear, I might as well get it through a distributor or something. I mean,
yes.
Pretty sure, like, in order to actually go out and, like, get it yourself, you'd have to, like, get tags for bear.
Yeah, basically
On top of the fact that you'd also have to get a permit for the state that you're going to.
Yeah, basically travel. Well, Alaska's a place that is known for bear hunts. So go to Alaska, get your permit for a hunt, get a guide to show you, oh, these are where the bears are. We could find you one and we could hunt. And yeah, getting a distributor would probably be a little bit easier.
Yeah, so it's like, might as well just find some place where you can buy bear meat.
Mm-hmm. That is also easier said than done, though.
Well, yes, but it's still, like, easier and cheaper, probably, than going out and actually hunting a bear.
Yeah, no, I'd love to go hunt a bear at some point in time, but that's going to be on my bucket list, like something that I probably do later in life if I ever...
By which we mean it's going to be the last thing you ever do because the bear will eat you.
No, I don't think so.
What happened to Tom? Well, you see, he went on a bear hunt, and the bear hunted.
That would be a funny way to end, but...
Oh, well, have fun. No, wait.
I read that already.
As I stared at her, I began to feel almost... Stars. As I stared at her, I began to feel almost agonized. Thought of saying even a temporary goodbye. She was so soft and vulnerable. Weird sentiment. Yes, she's vulnerable. That's what I love about her. It seemed foolhardy to let her out of my sight to where anything could happen to her, and yet the worst things that could happen to her would result from being with me. And my sad sack of shit mind.
will you do something for me this weekend? I asked seriously.
Oh, we're continuing.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost the end of the chapter, man. We may as well finish out.
Oh, yeah, might as well finish then. Yeah, okay. She nodded, her eyes wide and bewildered by my intensity.
Keep it light.
Anal.
That's not light.
I mean, use enough lube.
Oh my god. Fucking.
Yes, it is fucking.
You're lying.
Right. Don't be offended, but you seem to be one of those people who can just attract accidents like a magnet, so try not to fall in the ocean or get run over or anything, alright?
I smiled ruefully at her, hoping she couldn't see the sadness in my eyes. How much I wish that she wasn't so...
Me.
How much I wish that she wasn't so much better off away from me, no matter what might happen to her there.
You ever shut up?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, shit. Okay. Run, Bella, run! I love you too much for your good or mine. You have a weird definition of love.
She was offended by my teasing.
I'm offended by your existence. You give vampires a bad name. I don't mean in the fact that you sparkle, I just mean that you're an insufferable prick.
She glared at me. I'll see what I can do, she snapped, jumping out into the rain and slamming the door as hard as she could behind her.
Good.
Oh, this line.
Just like an angry kitten that believes it's a tiger.
I curled my hand around the key I'd just picked from her jacket pocket and smiled as I drove away.
Excuse me!
No touchy.
Excuse me! Fucking excuse me! What?
Probably for her truck?
He just fucking pickpocketed her house key. Like, I'm pretty sure that's her house key.
Well, I don't know. It might be her truck key, because he did say that
Why would it be her truck key?
Because he said he'd have Alice drop off her truck.
Right. Okay, that one makes sense. Either way, you just pickpocketed her.
Yeah.
It's not a thing normal people do, Edward. Just not.
Edward, go die in a fucking hole.
Bit aggressive. Be aggressive. Passive aggressive. Yeah. That's where we're going to leave it off. Page 140. Chapter 7 Melody. Dear God.
Lovely.
Hopefully there'll be less Mike going forward. That way we won't have to deal with two people that are absolutely insufferable, and instead just the one.